this kind of tape, okay, just plain old Scotch tape. This is a little bit stronger. And then the next thing that you're going to need is a little bit of string. Okay, this is just some nylon string that I cut off. And then you're going to need a pencil to poke holes in your plastic with. And the last thing, okay, can you show that? You're going to need a couple of, I bought these from Lowe's. These are dowel rods, okay? And they're just thin, round rods that are actually really flexible. And I can bend them, okay? Can y'all see that? I can bend them.
Yeah, we can see that it bends.
Okay, so we've got 2 of those. And one is just a little bit longer than the other, and I'll show you how to make sure they're the right size. But I'm gonna send you these rods, and I'm gonna send you plastic bag and a little bit of string and directions. And this isn't really, this is kind of something that you'll need an extra hand to do, so if you wanna try it, you can do it with your parents, okay? Okay, so let's go back to the other screen, Jim.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna point this down. All right, if you guys can't see, just tell me, because I tried to practice this, but.
We can see it really well.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so whatever size your plastic bag is, and I'm gonna send you guys all the same size. I've measured these dowel rods to be the right size as well. Let me move this out of the way. That's my string that I'll show you later. Okay, and so the first thing that we need to do is lay our dowel rod that fits from corner to corner on the plastic like this, okay? And I have already, if you guys can see the back of my bar, I've already laid out some tape that Cade smashed down on the bar. I've already laid out some tape that'll be easy, and I've cut it all about the same size. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay this down, and I'm gonna tape it right in the middle. And again, I'm gonna send you guys directions so you can follow these directions one step at a time. I'm gonna tape it in the middle, and then I'm gonna tape it sort of toward the top. Okay, hang on, guys. You're distracting everyone. You won't help me. Okay, do this. Okay, sorry guys, got a kid fight going on.
It happens.
Here at the top, and you really want to squeeze the tape down around your stick, because that'll keep it from coming up. Okay, please leave the tape alone. Touch it. Okay, then we're going to tape this side down. So how many pieces of tape do I have here?
3.
1, 2, 3. Okay?
Good job, McFarland.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Now, like I said, the cool thing, if you guys want to measure these and do some practice with measuring, that's a great activity to do too. And we can see how long your sticks are. You can make this kite bigger. You can do different things with it, but this size is small and easy to make. Okay. So the next thing that we need to do is get the other part of our frame. Okay. So I showed you guys the frame earlier. You see how this is bent?
Mm-hmm.
So we have to get that bent, and mine has slid out a little bit because I didn't do it right. Okay,
That's
so
like
the
a
way we're
triangle.
gonna do that is we're going to take a piece of tape. So I'm going to turn this.
You're right, Joseph. That did divide it into 2 triangles.
It did. I didn't hear that. Good job, good job, triangle. Good job, Joseph. Okay. So since I'm going to lay my frame this way, okay, it's kind of hard to tape it if you don't do it this way. Okay, this is a trick that Nobbin showed me. So I'm going to take my kite, and I'm going to lay my tape sticky. I'm going to tape it to the back side of it so that my sticky side is sticking up right there. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. You know when you try and watch your hands on the video, everything is backwards and it's really hard. Hopefully I did this the right way when I lay it on here. Okay, so I've got my tape here now, and now I'm going to take my flexible rod. Some people make this part straight, but this is kind of cool looking. Okay, so can you guys see my stick laying right along the edge of my kite?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to fold my tape over it.
Oh, so you bend it while the wind gets it.
Well, the bend in it will actually help it makes it look pretty. It also gives it a certain kind of pattern when you bend this thing. It makes it a little different. So I'm going to bend this. Can you hold that, Everest? And this is where I need a little extra help. Everest will have to hold this for me. Okay. And I'm going to bend it and I'm going to lay it right on my other side.
Everest, your hands could be to be a hand model. You're doing a great job.
They're sitting here punching each other while we're talking. Okay, so I'm going to bend this down and I'm going to push that in, and I'm going to do one more just so that my tape doesn't slip, because Nobbin is an expert at doing this because he did these when he was little, but my pieces of wood sometimes slide out. So I'm going to tape the end of that. Okay. And sometimes you have to look at your kite while you're making it and go, oh, I need to adjust that a little bit. That might come out. Okay. So now we've got our main frame. You can let it go. Okay, now we've got our main frame. And Nobbin would also say that I should tape this corner down on the end. And so I'm going to tape it there so it doesn't slide out. And then I'll just fold the tips over. And it kind of has a point on the end, like an arrow. You guys see that?
Yeah.
With my tape. Okay, and then I'm going to do this one the same way. All right, so now we've got our frame for our kite. And even if you don't like to fly kites, guys, this is something fun to make. You could hang this up in your room and you could put it on a short string and even run with it. So we've got our frame. Doesn't look too bad. Okay?
And if you make a black one, if you have stickers at home, you may not be able to color on it, but you could put stickers on the other side to decorate it.
Yes, you're right. I actually forgot to mention that. You just don't want it to get too heavy. So if you put stickers on it, pick a few spots to put them on there and pick light stickers, small stickers. But yeah, it can hold quite a bit. Okay. So I would probably tape this a few more times just to make it nice and stable. But for now, it's okay. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do, you can't fly a kite without a string attached, right? So we're going to make a tow line on it. And I'm going to poke. So I'm going to take a pencil, and I'm going to poke 2 holes. I'm going to poke one here. Hold it this way. I'm going to poke one here on this top side and here on this bottom side. What time we got? 10:46.
Yeah, you're doing great.
Okay, so I've got my 2 holes poked. And I'm going to take my string that I cut, my short string, and I'm going to make a tow line. Now, when this thing flies, we want the wind to push against the frame, okay? So I'm going to be pulling. Sorry, got a few too many props. So my string is going to go on, this is the finished product. On the back side, I'm going to be pulling where the frame is not, okay? So,
okay, so the string is on the opposite side of the sticks.
Yes, because the wind is going to push the kite into the sticks. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Okay? So when I pull on it, I'm going to be pulling it like this. So when we do our string, we've got to wrap it through that way. So I've got to push my string through from this side. Okay. And then I'm going to pull it back through. Okay, and then I'm just going to tie a knot. And we would practice tying these knots if we have more time, but I'm going to tie it for now, and we'll have directions on how to do it. Nobbin says I have to tie it a certain way so it doesn't come undone, and that's pretty important. Let's see if I can get it. Okay, I'll tie a couple of these knots. You guys see?
Yeah. And you guys remember, if you're going to get help, you can get a parent or a brother or sister to help you tie those knots.
Yeah, this is a place where you guys will definitely want help. And we could even do another little tutorial on just the knot tying part of it. That would be a really cool thing for our hands anyway. Okay, so I've got one side tied. but that's not enough. If I take it out and fly it, if I tie my kite string to this string and try and fly it, my kite's not going to be stable. So I've got to make a hole a little bit further down, okay? And we'll make it about, it doesn't really matter as long as you balance the center point later on. So I'm going to put a hole on both sides, just a few inches down. Well, more than a few inches down. I'll give you specific directions on how far to go with that. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to thread this string through here. Y'all tell me if I can't see.
We can see it.
Okay. So I'm going to thread this string through here. Maybe. Sometimes you got to wet that string. And
Hi, Nobbin.
Hey.
he's coming to critique my kite making technique.
Yeah, she's doing good.
Okay, so now we've got a toe line. You guys see that?
Yeah.
And I am going to make it kind of loose, and I'm going to tie another knot in this end. And again, you guys will have really specific directions on when and where and how to tie this knot. And this is where you'll want to get help, most likely. Okay.
So the way we do it's just.
Nobbin's
it's
telling me
fast,
my
like-
knot.
Yeah,
like that.
that's good. That's
Okay,
good.
so I'm going to twist it and pull it through because that knot bothered Nobbin. He didn't like it.
The professional way is this.
Yeah, show us the professional way, Nobbin.
Oh, gosh.
Like that.
Look at that. You can't stay away. Okay, and then we have to tie a knot in this, and this is what I wanted. This is why I told you guys to bring shoestrings, but we probably won't have time to do it today, but maybe we can practice it later. So we want to center this, okay, and the way Nobbin does is he starts at the top, okay, and he pulls it down tight, and then he slides his finger to the end, and he comes back again, and he slides his finger to the other end. He doesn't measure, he does it like this, and he pulls it up, and now we're centered, and I'm going to tie a knot right here, and this knot's pretty easy to tie. This was the one I was going to practice because it was easy, but we're just going to pull it through, and now we've got a little loop. You guys see that?
Yeah.
So now the kite is ready to fly. We just have to attach it to what?
A long string.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so Nobbin just makes things out of everything. He didn't go to the store and buy him anything to wrap string around. He took a water bottle, and this has a little notch in the water bottle so the string won't slide off. It's good if you have something on the ends, but you can do it with a marker. Nobbin flew the kite with a marker the other night after he wrapped the string around, but he wraps. So we're going to take our string, okay, and then we need to attach it to this here, okay? And this doesn't require a fancy knot, Nobbin tells me. It's fine, however I want to tie it. Kind of like you tie your shoe, the way you
He's
start.
not going to show us the professional way to do it.
No.
I can.
We're going to tie it a couple times, and now it's ready. And this kite, we can take it out, and we can put it on a short string, or we can put it on a long string, and we can run around, and we can fly this kite. So I have some video of Nobbin teasing my children, which I thought he sent it to me, but I can't find it. Maybe I'll show it to you guys tomorrow morning. But Nobbin is really good. He was dropping the kite down where the kids could almost touch it, and then pulling it really high, and it was miles high, and it was really funny to watch. Kids couldn't catch the kite. So another thing you can do on the end of your kite is put a tail. So you guys see this? I just cut this out of a garbage bag as well, and it's on our finished kite. We've got it on there. It's a really long tail. The tail makes it a little more stable.
Hey, wait just a second, Kerri. Hey, Jim, will you switch to her other camera so we can see the other kite?
Sure.
Because you could see it better on the other camera.
Can you?
All right.
Yeah, wait just a second.
There we go.
There you go. Now we can see your whole body.
Oh, I thought you were on the other one. Okay, so here's the frame, and then we've got our tail. We just cut it. I cut shreds out of the end of it to make it kind of swaggly. And this thing looks really cool up in the sky. But the tail makes it more stable and easier to fly. If you're a good kite flyer and you're going to cut people's strings, you wouldn't put this tail on because it's a little more easy to maneuver and fly around, okay? So I want to tell you what they do with the kite string because we're almost out of time. And then I think that's all. So with the kite string, they have to make it really strong, okay? So I've got a bowl of flour here, okay? That's what they would use in Nepal. And they would take probably glass Coke bottles, Okay, that's something we would need. Some water and maybe some sort of weird glue, but doesn't have to. So they bust glass up as fine as they can. So take a hammer. I don't want you to do this. I'm just showing you how they do it. They would take,
You guys do not do this.
yes, do not do this. They would bust this up as fine as they could, and the glass is sharp, but they would make it into really, really fine powder. And then they would take flour and water and make it into a sticky kind of mat, and they'll lay it out. They'll put it in a pot and heat it up with some glue and melt all of it together. And once they get the powder, so they'll get the powder and the water mixture and get the string wet. They'll take the string and they'll put it down in the pot and get all the string wet. And then they will take the string in their hands with gloves on, and they'll get the glass in their hands and they'll run it across the string, and they'll make the string really strong, and it'll have fine glass just shreddings all over it. And so if you touch it, it can cut your hand. And when you fly your kite, this is what's lining your string. So if you're really skilled and you see someone with a really tight line up in the sky and you make a nosedive at their kite, that's how you cut it. You run your string across their tight string and it'll cut it. And if you want to avoid being cut, you loosen your kite and you let your string go loose and you let your kite fall away, and you have to come at it from a certain angle. So that's how those kids in that movie were cutting kites. It takes a long time to get your string wet with the glue and then to put the glass all over the whole length of your string. So we have to unroll it all and then roll it all back up and get it ready to fly. And once it's ready to fly, then we've got everything attached. We put that kite in the sky. And if you're in a city flying off the rooftops, you guys saw the pictures, right? There are kites everywhere. And so they fly the kites and they have kite competitions. And if you're the last kite standing, then you're the winner. So I'm sorry I didn't have a chance to bust up my glass, but you guys are not doing any of that with the glass.
I was gonna say, part of me's sort of glad that would be the example
Yeah.
that some of them might
My
do.
kids wanted to do it, right?
Yeah. You guys, let's give this Kerri a wave. That was so good.
Okay.
I love it.
Awesome.
Okay, so I'm going to send you guys directions.
Alright.
Send you a plastic bag that's already cut, but if you want to cut your own, you certainly can. All you need is a square. I'm going to send you the wood rods because they're very cheap and inexpensive at Lowe's. And then you'll have to supply your own tape. And I'll send enough string for you to make a tow line, but you'll have to supply your kite string. But remember, you can use fishing line, you can use nylon, cotton, you can use any kind of rope because you don't necessarily need the kind of ropes that they fly if they're going to cut strings. So, okay?
That's awesome. Thank you.